Hello and welcome again. Thank you. It's good to know that you're there. Thank you for watching, for sharing and liking, subscribing. And if you've not liked, if you've not subscribed, if you've not following, please do follow, please love, and please like, subscribe too. Now, yesterday we were trying to put this, we were trying to solve this question, and in the process something unthinkable happened, or should I say something that's common in this climate. The power supply was interrupted. There was an interruption in the power supply. Sorry about that. So we're going to continue from where we stopped. I'll just go quickly. So what we were doing was we brought out this question out, and we said 6 multiplied by root 8 multiplied by root 10 multiplied by root 12. So what we do is we break each one of them down. Now that is one of the beauty of mathematics. You can get a number, switch it this way, switch it this way, as long as that number is still the same thing. For example, now 4 is the same thing as 2 times 2. Yes. And 4 is the same thing as 8 divided by 2 is still the same thing as 4. And 4 is the same thing as 3 plus 1. So whichever way you want to do anything, you want to manipulate so that you would go very smoothly. You do. It's not only 4, you can do that with almost any other number. So here 6 is the same thing as 3 times 2. And 8 is the same thing as 4 times 2. And 10 is the same thing as 5 times 2. And 12 is the same thing as 4 times 3. Now 12 is the same thing as 12 is the same thing as 4 times 3, and it's also the same thing as 6 times 2, and it's also the same thing as 12 times 1. But why did we choose 4 times 3 is because this doesn't have a perfect square root. If we make this place square rooted, it will square root this place. This one doesn't have a perfect square root, it doesn't have a perfect square root, doesn't have a perfect square root, doesn't have a perfect square root, doesn't have a perfect square root. This one has a perfect square root. So it's the combination that have at least one that has a perfect square root that we choose. So we didn't choose this, we don't need this. We don't need this, so this is the one we need. So we choose this. So now the next, so now these have, I like to say they have their meal, their food in one plate. So why don't you separate it? So instead of having a common square root sign, why don't you give them a separate square root sign? So that's what we've just done simply. It's the same thing as joining it together here. So why join it together here and here the same? So why don't you separate them? So there will be this. So that's just what we've done, just separated them. So this is root 3 times root 2 times root 4 times root 2 times root 5 times root 2 times root 4 times root 3. So what we did was to separate them, give them their individual square root sign. Is that okay? Then the next step, we start going. The target will now be these that have a perfect square root and these that have a perfect square root. So the perfect square root, so this one doesn't have a perfect square root, to bring it down the same way, you bring this one down the same way. This one has a perfect square root, so the square root of 4 is 2. Just 2, you can see there's no square root sign on it. Then this one is brought down the same way. This one is brought down the same way, this brought down the same way, this times. And then this is the same thing now. This is the same thing as, this 4 is the same thing as square root of 2 times 2, right? And the square root of 4, just like we did here, square root of 4 is 2. So this is just 2. So we just have 2 times root 3. This one doesn't have a perfect square root, so it comes down. Now in this case, what you do, you can say, should we say collect like terms or rearrange? Let's say rearrange by collecting like terms, Now, I like to write and teach in such a way and manner that I go through all the steps. If you're writing an exam, because you are timed, you don't have to do all these stories. The examiner may not give you mark for everything. So know the very important steps, use them. I know why I'm saying this. You don't have time to do all these stories. So let's go. This is the same thing. Rearrange them, they're the ones that similar come close. So this and this look together, so they come like 2 times 2. So I've done with this and this. Then root times root 3, root 2. Is there another root 2 here? Another root 2 times another root 2. Is there another root 2, root 2, root 2, root 2? Then this root 3 times root 3. What I'm doing now is to rearrange. Right, root 3, is there another root 3k times root 3 times root 5. I'm taking this step, it looks longer, but it's so that you understand. Now let's go. 2 times 2 is what? 4 times, this is 2 times 2 times 2. So what does it mean? Without thinking, I know that the square root of 2 times 2 is just 4. And this, the root 2 times root 2 is 2. Because what this simply means is this, 2 times 2, right? And 2 times 2 is the same thing as what? 4, right? And what's the square root of 4? 2. 2. So this times this is supposed to give us, okay? Let me just go. I bring them together again because times 2. I bring them together. But this one stands alone. Root 2. Sorry, root 2. Times this and this are the same. So bring them together again. 3 times root 3 times root 5. Is that okay? So let's come over to this place. So with okay. So from here now, let me bring everything here we have here. 4 times root 2 times 2. I'm just bringing it up. Times root 2 times root 3 times root 3. I already joined them. Times root 5. So this is 4. 2 times 2 is already root 4 times root 2 times this is root 3 times 3 is 9 times root 5. So this is 4 times square root of 4 is 2 times root 2 times square root of 9 is 3. So don't need to put the 3 again. This 2 root side is 3. So times root 5. Still bring them together again. This is 4 times 2 times 8. Bring them together, rearrange them. It's going to be 4 times 2 times 3. All the ones that don't have any square root sign brought together. This, and this. Bring them together. This, and this. So this 2 times root 2 times root 5. So 4 times 2 is what? 8. 8 times 3 is what? 24. Or if you like, 3 times 4, 12. 12 times 2 is still 24. So we have 24 times root 2. Let's bring it together. You can do that. Times 5. So this is 24 times 2 times 5. 10. So what we have is 24 root 10. You can stop here. Now, having looked at this, I've done so many steps, but you can jump. Some people can do this, only 4 steps and you're done to the answer. But I just want you to understand. If you have a question, please put on the comment section. Let me know how you follow. And thank you so much. Let's meet again. Bye for now.